This year we decided to do something a little bit different for the Game of the Year stuff. Usually we have this big conversation where we debate which would be the top 10 games of each year. For 2017 though, we realized that those discussions are always like biased towards our personal preferences. So instead of fighting over it and coming up with a list that we're all kind of okay with, we decided to split off these videos and each member of the staff will give their honest opinions, their honest top 10. The rules are totally up to each staff member. If they want to include games from previous years because they've received updates, they can do that. If they want to include early access games, it's totally okay. It's 100% up to them. We want to make this list as crystal clear as possible. And we kick off with the top 10 games of 2017 from our man Fgeitas. Take it away!
Hello everyone, this is Fgeitas from the Magical Noob team. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas this year. Before I jump into this list, let me just say that these games are in no particular order. They're just a bunch of games. I gathered them together, except for the number 1 spot. I did save the best for last. At number 10 and number 9 are Rocket League and Overwatch. Yes, I know these games were not released this year, but I had the feeling I had to put them into this list. For one particular reason. I've played them a lot, and I mean a lot, of Rocket League and Overwatch. Of course, some of you guys know I edit videos for TGN, and most of those videos are about Overwatch, and that could be one reason I played a lot of it. But I do like the game. Excuse me. I find myself going in again and again just to grind out a little bit more, play some arcade games to grind for the loot boxes, and although I'm not really good at it, I really enjoy my time in Overwatch. As for Rocket League, I'm a more competitive guy. I mainly play rank, although I really enjoy trying out new game modes Psyonix comes up with, but mainly I enjoy the competitive scene on this game. More important, these two games have been getting constant updates, and this is the main reason why I pair them up. They always have something new and interesting to newcomers, new game modes, new cosmetics, and they keep making me come back to them. At number 8 is Es12 Switch. Okay, so I was a little skeptical to include this one on my list, because I think this game only has one major flaw, and that would be the price tag. Nintendo had the gut to sell a tech demo for the new console for a full price. Now, that being said, why would I recommend Es12 Switch? It's simple. Anyone, and I mean anyone, can play this game. I had my whole family in front of the TV just playing some video games with me, and I loved it. It's the ultimate party game, even for people who don't game. It includes a bunch of silly stuff like milking cows, boxing, air guitar, and they're all super simple. They kinda show what the Switch capabilities are in terms of new tech, especially with the HD Rumble, which to this day, it's something I'm amazed with. And they made it so simple your grandma can play with you. I had a lot of fun, and I can't recommend this enough if you like having people gathering at your house and just having plain good old fun. Number 7 is Cuphead. This game had me interested in it since the first trailer, and of course it's because of the art style. I never seen anything like this. The team promised and delivered a good game that looks unique. You can say the game is hard, it's a regular shooter inspired by classics like Metal Slug and Contra, and it's totally fine. It's not something new. It just happens to have a great skin with the animation inspired by Fleischer Studios from 1920s and 30s cartoons. Also, it has a soundtrack that fits like a glove and has super precise controls. If you haven't tried out Cuphead and you're a fan of the games I mentioned, then you're missing out a great game. Number 6 is ARMS. Well, this game was something I really didn't expect, and quite frankly, was an excellent surprise for me. At first I thought ARMS would be just another Punch-Out, but after I finally got my hands on the game, all that thoughts went away. I certainly did not expect that ARMS to have such deep mechanics. Don't expect the gameplay level of a Street Fighter or Injustice. Those are different kinds of fighting games. This one is more focused on the combination of the different characters, the equipable gloves, that each one has some different statuses, either be damage, the way they're thrown, or even elemental damage like shock and fire. It gets pretty competitive, and playing online is super fun. There's also an offline mode with arcade story mode, some mini games like volleyball and basketball, which are okay I guess, nothing fancy, but are cool to play in a non-competitive environment. Another cool thing was, while I felt the game didn't have a lot of content when it was released, it's another game that, just like Rocket League and Overwatch, has been receiving a lot of updates. With new characters, new levels, new arms as well, all of that for free. It's definitely one of the Switch underrated gems, and I can't recommend the game enough if you own a Switch. Number 5 is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. This indie title certainly raised the bar from what non-AAA games can be. Hellblade was an amazing journey from the beginning to the end. It's one of those games that has to be played, as it's very story focused, and anything that I say can be a spoiler. I can however tell you this: I like the way Ninja Theory tied the gameplay with the sound. It becomes such an important part of the puzzles and the combat that you can't play this game without sound. Headphones are heavily recommended. Also, I really like some of the puzzles that are present in the game. They're challenging, but they always felt rewarding after completing them. And at the same time, they didn't make me feel stupid for long periods of time. Neither got me stuck at the game. They have a really cool balance to it. Add excellent acting to the mix and you'll realize why Hellblade is one heck of an independent game and will probably be remembered for years to come. Number 4, Player Non Battlegrounds. Yes, the trending game everyone is talking about makes it to the list. You know why? Because it's a lot of fun. Even in early access with all the bugs and glitches that the game had, the clunky gameplay that shows its roots on the modding scene, the poor optimization, even with all that, the core experience is just plain fun. And the game hadn't even left early access. But then I thought that the 1.0 version would be just an optimized version of all of this. I was wrong. The vaulting and climbing mechanics make this a whole different game. The new revamped UI has a lot of quality of life improvements, and this game just got a lot better than it was. It feels more like a game instead of a mod this time. Yes, there are still problems with optimization, bugs and glitches still occur, but it's a hell of a step up to the previous version. It's just thrilling, the randomness of the game each time you enter the battlefield, all the different outcomes that can occur just make this game so much enjoyable. I'm loving PUBG and I'll probably will play it for a long period of time. Number 3 is Prey. Here's a cool game that came out in May that is just a spectacular single player experience. It's another story heavy game that I can't spoil of course, but if you're a gamer who enjoyed the Bioshock saga, System Shock, or even Deus Ex, then you'll probably love Prey. Despite the game having some flaws and the story isn't the most original, the fact that the game provides you with a lot of tools to play around the space station so you can play the game however you want, either it be guns blazing or stealth, is just amazing. I had a lot of fun just combining powers, testing different ways of approach, how to sneak past an enemy, utilizing the environment to distract, or even hit the enemies. It provides the player with tools and a playground so the player can go through the game the way he wants. It's not a game for everyone, I reckon, but definitely a great experience in my opinion. Number 2, Super Mario Odyssey. Yep, you knew this game would be on the list. It's a Mario game, I've played all of them, and I loved all of them. Yes, even Sunshine. I love how this game feels so familiar with the rest of the series, and yet the new mechanics of capturing the enemies and gaining new abilities make this game feel fresh at every minute. Don't expect much of the story as all Mario games, it's the same old stuff, but the journey, the Odyssey if you want, is what makes the game. I'm still going on collecting power moons, I went through the whole story part, which has the best ending in a Mario game ever, and I think I won't be putting the game down until I just get to 100%. It's an absolutely amazing game and it's a must-have if you own a Switch. And at number 1, of course, it's Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I guess it's just the year of Nintendo, guys. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild makes my number 1 spot, and I'm going to explain why. I could tell you all the stories I went through with this game, my adventures, my boss fights, I could praise the audio design, the gameplay mechanics, the story, I could praise everything the game did great, and still that wouldn't describe how much I loved this. But above all, this game was a surprise and makes the number 1 spot because it forfeits all of the classic Zelda games, the way they played and were structured to give us a completely amazing game. It could be any other RPG with another name, that this game would still be amazing, but Nintendo decided to take a chance with one of their franchises and change the classic dungeon design to an open world exploration, and that's what I like the most, how it feels so fresh, both within and out of the Zelda games. Heck, this game made me even like crafting, and I'm someone who hates crafting in most games. No doubt, this is the best game of this year. So let me finish this video just by saying that 2017 was a hell of a year. You know, there were a lot of stellar games and I feel like I'm missing out some of them. Like, you know, you got the Mario Rabbids crossover, you got Horizon Zero Dawn, which I haven't even played it, but I sure as hell want to play that. I'm sure there were a lot of games this year that were spectacular, to say the least. So if I forgot someone, just remember to tell them in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to Magical Noob. I've been Fgeitas, and I'll see you guys next time.